Hiya 10 and welcome to your end of year assembly. Over the next couple of minutes, we're going to be reflecting on the year that we just experienced. You started in year 10 on the 4th of September 2019, and from these images, you're probably going to realise it's a year that's not going to be forgotten. This is a list of bullet points of the things that I feel have affected me the most over the last year. It's been quite turmoil at times, and it's easy to feel like everything's falling apart. As you know, I'm not one to focus on negativity. I try to see the good in nearly every situation. And I love a good quote. So I'd like you to think about this one. Sometimes when things seem like they are falling apart, they're actually just falling into place. For example, it would be easy to dwell on the past and focus on all the terrible aspects of the Australian bushfires that happened in January. However, people did not just sit there and watch Australia burn. It became worldwide news. Over £500 million was donated. Firefighters and military troops from US, New Zealand, Singapore and Canada were sent to Australia to help the fires. Crafters from around the world made pouches for the orphaned animals. Charities are now planting new trees to help the ground recover. Families, communities and people united around the world to help make a difference. On the 25th of May, George Floyd was murdered by police officers in Minnesota. This sparked major protests around the world from the Black Lives Matter movement. The protests have gained a lot of media attention, and even more support is being shown through various platforms such as social media and entertainment industry. Something that Jennifer Lopez and Alex, her husband, said recently, I thought really summed this up well. The only answer to systemic racism, inequality, and hate is systemic love and acceptance. We need to speak up and speak love at every chance we get. We need to get involved, march in the streets, sign the petitions, make the phone calls, volunteer at charities, support minority-owned businesses. You can't help your community unless you are really experiencing life with your community. Another thing I want to focus on is obviously the global pandemic. Like many of you, my life was turned upside down in March this year. And with all the negativity that's happened, with the world going into lockdown, 16 weeks has been a really, really long time for our lives to be different. There have been positive changes and positive outcomes from this. The planet started to breathe again. Pollution levels dropped. The air we breathe is cleaner. Fish have returned to the waters of Venice, and wildlife have returned to some cities. Newfound appreciation for our NHS. Weekly claps on Thursdays on our doorstep, saying hello to our neighbours, clapping for those looking after those who are sick. Communities have come together to raise money for the NHS, including Captain Tom, who raised over 100 million. The Wren also played their part by donating PPE equipment to Berkshire Hospital. People have started to have more me time, which is improving their well-being. A change in technology has seen that people are communicating with their family and friends more. This might be through quizzes, virtual parties, and even TikTok. People have spent time learning new skills. They've learned how to bake, they've learned how to sew, new instruments, sports, and yoga. Appreciation has been found for the areas that people live. With a travel ban in place, people have had to stay local and they've had to explore the areas that are around them. Lastly, students across the globe were told they could no longer go to school, but classrooms have been made virtual. Students are still learning from an online platform, and I think that's something that is really amazing. So to summarise, although there have been many challenges and a lot of sadness over the past year, there have also been a lot of positives. It's okay to look back and reflect, but it's also really good to look forward. Look at how things have changed. Look at how you have grown in these situations. In 6 weeks' time, you will return to school. You will be a Year 11 student and you will be sitting your GCSE exams. I'd like you to think about what your aspirations and goals are for the next year. Write them down on a piece of paper, stick them somewhere in your room, or write them on your phone, make a note of it and set a reminder for you to see it. And do remind yourself of what you really do want to achieve. Don't lose sight of those goals when things get difficult. I want you to have a look at some of these tips that I've prepared for you on your final year at school. Start the year off right. Prepare your body and your mind to come back to school. It's been a long time out of school. Get in a routine of waking up early before you start coming back to school, maybe just the week before. Adjust your body clock to the school meal times. Obviously, you won't be able to snack throughout the day when you're in lessons. You'll only be able to have your food at break and lunch times. Use your time wisely. During the holidays, do some research about the career paths that you think you want to take. Also, catch up on any work that you've missed, particularly in your core subjects. Plan ahead. Get yourself a calendar, write down the important dates and deadlines. Organise a revision file and your schoolwork. Sort your equipment out. Make sure you've got that pen, make sure you've got that calculator, or even rubber so you can rub out your mistakes that you might make in art. And lastly, work hard. If you fail to prepare, you must prepare to fail. It's been really, really nice seeing lots of you in school over the last couple of weeks. Some of you have been in our permanent groups. Some of you I've been seeing weekly. Your form tutors have loved seeing you, and I know that your core teachers have certainly enjoyed getting back into teaching. I hope you have a really good summer, and I cannot wait to see you back in September.